fight across the divide, from galaxies distant to worlds on the side. With courage in hand, our powers collide. The multiverse calls, we stand side by side.